Hey gang, Dallas here with Privateer Press. One of the most requested topics we're asked about is how to paint Trollkin flesh. So today, I'm going to show you a few easy steps to help you get your Trollkin creel painted up in no time at all. So, let's get started. To get going on our troll, we're going to start with some troll blood base. Give it a good shake. And get a bunch of this out. We're going to need quite a bit of this. Then we're just going to apply a base coat. I'm going to get some paint on my brush and just start base coating. And just work around the entire model to get a base coat. And if you just need to just get a little water in there to help it move off that brush. I want a nice solid base coat on this guy. Work pretty fast. This dude's pretty buff, so I want to make sure we get that in there. Show off his muscles. Sweet pecs. They can be messy. First base coat can be messy, right? You're going to go back and you're going to paint that armor anyways, so if there's a little blue on it, it doesn't matter at this stage. Okay, I went ahead and dried that first base coat with my handy dandy blow dryer. I'm going to go ahead and very quickly apply any second layer where fill needs to be. Across the tops of these fingers. Down in the deep parts will be shaded, so not super worried about those. All right, let's dry them off and start the next step. To get our shade going, I'm going to be using a mix of 50/50 Troll Blood base and Sanguine base. I'm just going to mix this together. My old brush, my old trusty brush, and about 50/50. And what this does is the Sanguine mixes with the Troll Blood base, makes a nice warm purple, which will be a nice contrast color to the blue skin, but it also provides that warmth that skin wants. You want your guys that are alive to look alive. And that usually requires a warm color. Nice, warm, desaturated purple. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to two brush blend this. I'm just going to apply this in the shadows. And then blend this out. And just quickly shade all the little areas between the muscles. Start developing that contrast and that definition of the musculature and the anatomy. And just anywhere you feel would have some shading, just give it a quick little blend. A little more shadow on the underside of his chin here. It's a little heavy, so I can get rid of some of that paint. A little bit on the bottom of his lip here. You can see by just these quick, broad shadows, starting to get that definition. You can see the form of the model really starting to come out. By having contrast, you give things form and shape. Focus on these eyes real quick. I want them to have that mean look, so I'm going to accentuate that furrowed brow. Really get some shadow in the eye sockets. This guy's starting to look mean. All right, I think it's time to move on to the next step. We're just going to take some Murderous Magenta, drop of that. Well, that's not a drop. Drop of that. And a drop of Troll Blood base. And a drop of mixing medium. Make a quick wash out of this. Add a bunch of water. 1 drop water. 2 drop water. That seems pretty washy. We're going to give the lips and the eye sockets a quick wash of this mix. Once again, all this is doing is adding that warmth to some key parts of the skin. Just reinforcing that alive look. Maybe in his brow. Okay, now let's start our final shading. And for that, we'll be adding some Crixbane base to Trollblood base. I'm just going to go ahead and use that Trollblood base from earlier. Mix that up. Nice dark color. And this mix should be about 50-50. Again, nice blue-green. So as you can see, this color is a dark green. And this is our first shade, which is more of a desaturated purple. This gives it that life to the skin, and this will just deepen those shadows and provide more contrast. This color will just go in the deepest parts of the skin. It doesn't take very much. Nice, small areas. You just need a little color in there to provide that contrast. It's like definitely under the chin, where two muscle groups come together. You want that nice pinch there, so like that little pinch right there. Paint a little of that dark color in there. Gives it that pinch look. Right here, his bicep joins the shoulder. The undersides of arms. All that kind of stuff. Even between the fingers. Definitely up here on the brows. Under the eye sockets. Alright, with our final shade complete, it's time to move on to some highlights. And for highlighting, we'll be using Trollblood base, mixed 50-50 with Trollblood highlight. So let's grab a couple drops of this base. 1, 2, and a couple drops of this highlight. 1, 2. Let's go ahead and put a drop of mixed medium in there as well. Just one. This will add some translucency to that skin. So as you can see, you got this nice light, cool blue. You got this desaturated purple. And this nice blue-green here. And stretched out over a whole model, you're going to get some really nice contrast on the skin. And for our highlight step, I'm going to start at the upper surface. Just blend that out. Any upper area, tops of muscles, your highlights to be. Let's do some on his head here, of course. Your face of your miniature usually is a good focal point. Kind of get drawn to the face. So some really good highlights on the face is going to help out, bring out the character and some personality in your mini. Go ahead and paint this fingernail this color. For like knuckles, I like to draw like little lines sometimes. Just little highlight lines. And just continue highlighting any upper surfaces, working your way around that model. All right, very quickly, I'm going to take some of my base color, and anywhere I feel like I kind of overshadowed or kind of lost some of that contrast, I'm going to bring that back in. Sometimes you just got to kind of reclaim a little bit. Just part of the process. Just work some of that base color back in if you need it. You don't always need to, but it's time to put on our final highlights. For that, we'll be using pure Trollblood highlight. And very sparingly, just going to highlight some very key portions of his face. Some little texture lines across his lip here. Just a little bit. Right here on the upper part of his nose, where his brow is furrowed. I'm going to keep this real minimal. This is just going to provide some nice poppy little highlights for his face. So one final thing about trolls that really give them that distinct look is the rocky crustules on their face and shoulders. So let's go ahead and get those painted up. So for the rocky crustules, I'm going to take some Battlefield Brown and Exile Blue, mix those equally. And 2 drops of mixing medium on this, probably. Or 3. I want a nice brown-blue color here. I want it pretty thin. We're going to paint this very thinly right over top of the little crustules. It's a nice thin paint. Just go right over the little rocky growths here. It's one of the things that make trolls so unique. They got this little growth, these little rocky bits. It's like they're tied to Imran. There we go. And if you want to, you can grab a little bit of that highlight color, mix it into this. Put a little highlight right on the top edge of these. Keep it real minimal. Give the eye something to catch. All right, that's how you paint the skin. And I feel like let's add a little flavor to this guy. So we're gonna take some sanguine base. I'm gonna take my rocky crustule mix. Add a touch of that with my sanguine base. I'm keeping with the same color palette here, of course. I'm gonna go ahead and paint this color down into the recesses of his mouth, around his tongue. This is very contrasty against that blue again, right? It's all about contrast. Let's put a little red on those quills. I can very quickly grab a touch of that blue from our highlight. Some of our red. Give a little color to the tongue. Very quick. Let's go ahead and paint the eyes. Thamar black. And very carefully with the tip of the brush. And let's use a little jack bone on those teeth. I'm just going to pop these out. Just the tip of the brush. I'm just kind of slowly bringing the tip of my brush in. Kind of gently tapping toward the tooth, but not touching it. Slowly, 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 slowly bringing it closer, closer, closer till I actually touch the tooth. That way just the tip of the brush makes contact. Gives me more control that way. And let's throw some Bastion Gray into his eyes. Once again, I'm just going to come in here real slow. Just the tip of the brush, paint the eye. I'll leave a little bit of that black showing. Just slowly come in there with the tip. Scorn red mixed with our base color of the tongue there to highlight the tongue. Let's dot our eyes with some mid-off white highlight. Once again, this is just a little tiny dot. Just very slowly come in, just the tip. Just put a little hint of pupil in there. All right, let's clean this guy up with a little Thamar black. See where he's at. All right, with this guy blocked in, he looks pretty good. Looks like he's about ready to take a charge from the enemy and dole out some pain. And there you have it, a simple recipe for painting up your trolls. However, you can apply these steps to any model you want to help you create a unique and personalized army. Join me next time when we take a focused look at painting some faces. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe for more videos and check out the links below for more in this series and additional information on the P3 Hobby line. Next time, we're gonna learn how to get... I was trying so hard. Oh my God! We're keeping that. It's like I finally know what I'm doing after 30 episodes. Professional.
Yeah.